Ready, set, adventure! Welcome to Hikanuki World Tour and Day 5 on our cruise aboard the NCL Joy and our second day in Bermuda. We will brave the wind and the rain to visit Horseshoe Bay and see the action at Dolphin Quest. We'll also visit some historical sites, sample some Bermudian cuisine, and return to the ship for an evening of dining and entertainment. It was a very busy day, and we want to share it with you. So come on along. The view from our balcony this morning was of this little guy. I guess the weather in Bermuda was so rainy that he was looking for a ride to the dry Tortugas. We decided to go to the observation lounge this morning to go to Starbucks and to get continental breakfast. I'm sorry to say that it's another rainy and very windy day in Bermuda. And although it is hurricane season and we have had some pretty nasty weather, this is not a hurricane. If you have the premium drink package, Starbucks is included. If not, here are the prices. This Starbucks offers a few of the Been There series mugs, which can be fun to collect. There were a number of delicious looking pastries to choose from, as well as cereals, muffins, fruit, and yogurts. The observation lounge is a great place if you're not feeling that hungry but just want to grab a bite. From the observation lounge, we observed the celebrity eclipse. We also observed the weather, hoping to see a break in the clouds. And we weren't the only ones up here. It was about 10:30 in the morning and people were looking for motivation. Well, it looks like plenty of people are out and about. Here they are boarding the ferry to St. George. Our plan for the morning is to head to Horseshoe Bay. Horseshoe Bay is probably Bermuda's best known pink sand beach, and we've always dreamed of seeing that. So let's head down to the gangway. That's some interesting beach attire. A savvy traveler always packs a sturdy poncho. I do see a tiny peak of blue sky up there, so we're going to stick with our plan and take a minibus over to Horseshoe Bay. It's about a 25-minute ride, and it costs $7 per person each way if you take the minibus. Did I mention it was windy? Not exactly the weather we were expecting at the end of June in Bermuda, or as they like to call it, Bermudaful. Here's where the NCL passengers go to wait for either a taxi, minibus, or a tour. Just listen to that wind. What a beautiful beach day we're going to have. Fares to popular destinations are posted here and are controlled by the government, so there's no need for haggling. If you've traveled to the Caribbean or other islands, you're probably familiar with the minibus tactic, where they wait until every single seat is filled before leaving. This bus even had jump seats that folded down into the aisle, so it was completely full. And don't forget cash, because the bus driver doesn't take American Express. They do happily take American dollars all throughout Bermuda, and when we were there, the exchange rate was 1-to-1. Depending on the driver, you may also get a nice narrated tour. Since we'll be docked in Bermuda overnight again, there will be no all-aboard time today. We're going to be passing the Clock Tower shopping mall soon. We're saving our tour of the Dockyards for tomorrow when we do have an all-aboard time of 2:30. And what do you know? A Diamonds International. We haven't seen one of those since our last cruise. Our bus was a little rickety. The lady in front of us was holding on for dear life. We were just thankful that we weren't in a jump seat. Even on a cloudy day, the waters around Bermuda are still beautiful. We're now approaching the parking lot at Horseshoe Bay Beach. This is a free, public beach, but you can rent loungers and umbrellas. Horseshoe Bay is known for its pink sand beach, turquoise waters, and dazzling beauty, and it's often in the rankings of one of the top beaches in the world. We can't wait to catch a glimpse. There are plenty of cabs and minibuses waiting in the parking lot, so there's no worries about getting back to the ship. Just a reminder to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to Hikanuki World Tour. It really helps our channel grow. Thanks, we really do appreciate you. You can take the bus here, but it drops you off at the top of a very steep hill, whereas the minibuses and taxis take you right down to where the beach starts. On our right is the locker room / restrooms and a place to wash your sandy feet. We found the public spaces to be clean. The bathrooms and changing rooms were very large and very clean as well. Horseshoe Bay offers a cafe with typical beach fare like burgers, hot dogs, and fish sandwiches, plus a bar, and often has live music. There are a number of tables and chairs and umbrellas to protect you either from the blazing hot sun or, in our case, the rain. Chairs and umbrellas are available to rent, and we found the vendors to be a bit aggressive. As this is a public beach, you're welcome to just find your own place and set up your towel if that's your preference. On our day, because of the weather, many people just came, walked around, and then left. While the beach is wide and spacious, it can get crowded, especially on cruise ship days. And even on our day in the inclement weather, there were still quite a few people here. The main beach is to the left, and to the right is Horseshoe Bay Cove, or Baby Beach. The limestone formations make this a beautiful place to see, but no climbing on the rocks. The calm, shallow waters make Baby Beach perfect for families. Where the water hits the sand, you can see a little bit of the pink hue, but because it was so cloudy, the colors really were subdued. As would be expected, the rough weather also made for rough waters in the main beach area. While the main beach does have lifeguards, you should use extreme caution due to the rip current. This really was a magnificent beach, and we hope to return someday in the future in better weather. And despite the weather, there were a few brave souls venturing out into the ocean and relaxing on chairs. The water temperature in the ocean was probably about 75 to 78 degrees, so it was quite warm. It was just the thought of getting out in the wind and the rain that kept us from venturing into the water. If you need to escape the crowds, just keep walking in this direction and explore the many coves and less crowded spaces that await. The ducks are enjoying the weather. Another warning to heed is the Portuguese man-o-war. These jellyfish-like creatures with long tentacles pack a powerful sting. They were in the water and we saw a few washed up on the beach, so watch when you're swimming and watch your step on the beach. And what about that bright pink sand we were expecting? Well, you need a little more sunshine for that to come out. Upon close inspection, you can see the pink flecks in the sand. But we were a little disappointed with the reality. And with that, we packed up and went back to the minibus.
My name is Rudolph. I hope you all had a beautiful liquid sunshine day today, but still a beautiful day. Did you all enjoy the beach? Yeah. Now folks, this bridge coming up here is the smallest drawbridge in the world. This bridge right here, opens 22 inches by hand. Once a year, they come down and open it up.
We decided to return to the ship to get out of our wet clothes. We thought we would go explore the Bermuda National Museum, since part of that was indoors. If you want to go forward, just follow the fish. Here's the 10 things to do at the Dockyard. We're going to dine at the Frog and Onion. Housed in the mid-18th century cooperage, the Frog and Onion opened in 1992 by a Bermudian, onion, and Frenchman, Frog. It features a wide variety of English pub food, fresh seafood, and innovative entrees. It's also Bermuda's only brew pub. The restaurant has both indoor and outdoor seating. On our visit, a talented and humorous singer-pianist was performing, and he enjoyed interacting with the patrons.
Cheers. Sorry? Thank you. And your daughter, she's beautiful. See my wife.
The atmosphere was energetic, and everyone seemed to be having a great time.
So special occasion? So young lady, do you have a favorite artist?
Oh God, no, don't ask her. Me? Ask somebody else.
In addition to 2 outdoor dining areas, there are also 4 separate indoor rooms, allowing you to choose the ambience which best suits you. There's also a large game room in the back, so kids can have a great time while their parents relax at the pub. And of course, there's a large gift shop with Frog and Onion and Dockyard branded merchandise. There were 7 craft beers to choose from. We chose the Trunk Island Pale Ale and the Bermuda Triangle Stout. It just disappeared. For lunch, my husband had to try the Bermuda fish chowder. I had the smoked beef brisket sliders, which were really good. And I loved the chips. My husband had the fish sandwich that was served on a raisin bread bun instead of raisin bread toast, which he thought just wasn't as good. Our lunch was about $100, which included an 18% service charge. Bermuda is not cheap. After lunch, we headed across the street to the National Museum of Bermuda. This is also home to Dolphin Quest. At the museum, you can explore more than 500 years of Bermuda's history through exhibits and artifacts. The museum is housed in Bermuda's largest fort, and along with the fort, you can tour the Commissioner's House and Casemates Barracks. You'll also enjoy spectacular views of the surrounding areas, including the cruise ship docks. The museum is a short walk from the ship, and if you have time, I think you'll enjoy learning about Bermuda's history and heritage. We enjoyed walking the grounds, seeing the exhibits, and looking at shipwreck artifacts. It's a very large museum, so plan on spending at least 2 to 3 hours to really see it all. Once inside the gates, we headed to the Commissioner's House. Construction of the fort began in 1809, and the natural landscape and limestone were used by the Royal Engineers. Existing caves became the site for moats. Paths in and around the museum are very well kept and easy to navigate. There are some sloping pathways, but very few stairways. We're now approaching the Commissioner's House, which sits atop the hill of the Keep Fort on Bermuda's westernmost point. It is the world's first cast iron residence, and its wraparound balconies offer spectacular views of the dockyards and ocean below. Within the Commissioner's House, you'll find exhibits on slavery, immigration, and tourism, as well as a recounting of Bermuda's naval heritage. And look at that great view of the cruise ships. I'd say that's worth the price of admission. We found the exhibits and artifacts within the museum to be very well marked and very well described, making it the perfect place for a self-guided tour. I do suggest, if your time is limited, make absolutely sure that you see the 1,000 square foot mural by Graham Foster, which is found in the Commissioner's House. It's absolutely breathtaking. Along as we take an immersive walk through Bermuda's history and heritage. And this is the 1,000 square foot labor of love created over 3 years by Bermudian artist Graham Foster. It spans 2 stories and depicts 5 centuries of Bermudian history. And now down to the basement of the Commissioner's house, where the story of Bermuda's naval heritage is told. Here you'll find a wide variety of artifacts, from uniforms to cannons. Looks like the weather hasn't changed much. I'm a little concerned that the cannon is pointed right toward our cabin. If you're visiting Bermuda on a sunny day, there is a beach within walking distance of the ships. Now we're walking down to the prison and the exhibit Prisoners in Paradise. Bermuda was once a penal colony for thousands of British convicts and also housed POWs during the Boer and First World Wars. The displays showcase some of the handiworks the prisoners created while they were in Bermuda. And now on to the Queen's Exhibition Hall. It was a 19th century ammunition storehouse which had 4,000 kegs of gunpowder. It now houses treasures of 18 key shipwrecks. And now for something much more lighthearted, the gift shop and Dolphin Quest. Dolphin Quest is located in the Keep Pond Terrace, which was formerly used to transport ordnance to the fort. A separate fee is required for participation. Here you can interact with the bottlenose dolphins. The dolphins didn't seem to mind the rain. Let's watch. And now it's time to zoom back to the ship. And here come the folks off the ferry from St. George. Looks like their weather wasn't much better there. And here's the view from our balcony, looking back over at the Keep. And now we have a much better understanding of Bermuda and the Dockyards. This is the Inflatables water park. It hasn't seen much business the last couple days. But maybe tomorrow? I guess we'll wait and see. After changing into dry clothes yet again, we were ready for an evening of entertainment. Our first stop was the 7:30 Beatle story show.
We have some amazing music for you tonight. So please, but a huge joy here to welcome back to the stage Beatles Story and Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band. Here we go. 3, 4.
The flowers that grow so incredibly high.
Club Band.
After the show, we were just in time for the beautiful sunset. And back inside, people were really having a ball. Meanwhile, people had put on their finest and were taking pictures on the stairway. And this might be the chandelier that Sia was singing about. Time to grab a quick drink at the Maltings bar from Kai, the South African guy. Dinner at Teppanyaki was in full swing. And in the atrium, the battle of the sexes was being fought. In general, all of the public spaces were very busy. Tonight we were going to have dinner in the main dining room Taste. We had a busy day, so we were looking forward to dinner. We did upgrade our drink package to the premium package. It was an extra $25 per day, but you did get a better wine selection. One of my favorite wines is the Duckhorn, which was $25 a glass, so I felt like I was getting my money's worth. The meal started with bread and butter, which is always a great way to start a meal. We started with 3 appetizers tonight, the mozzarella and plum tomato. My biggest complaint is with the tomatoes, they're just not that tasty. And then the ranchero beef mini tostados, which if you're a fan of Mexican food, you probably won't be a big fan of these. They weren't bad, just a little on the bland side. The sweet yellow corn and chili bisque was definitely the highlight, with Monterey Jack cheese and a little bit of chili pepper, so it had a bit of a zing and was quite tasty. For entrees, my husband chose the Chinese-style barbecue pork. It was their take on a pork char siu, and my husband enjoyed it. He termed it cruise ship good, meaning good for the cruise ship, but not as good as you get in an authentic Chinese restaurant. I had the 3-cheese baked ziti because sometimes basic is what you need, and I would definitely get this again. And now on to dessert. And for dessert, we tried the Black Forest cake with dark cherry sauce. The cake was much lighter than I thought it would be. It was okay, but not something that I would be in a hurry to get again. And finally, we had the fig and apple cobbler with vanilla ice cream. I'm not a huge apple pie fan, so I'm probably not the best judge because I thought this was better than the Black Forest cake, but not outstanding. The ice cream was good though. And so another night comes to a close, and this was a busy one. So we're heading to our cabin to get some sleep before tomorrow, our last day in Bermuda. Thanks for joining us at Hikanuki World Tour on our second day in Bermuda aboard the NCL Joy. Our travel wisdom for today comes from Vivian Green. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain. Thanks again for joining us at Hikanuki World Tour, and be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notifications button as we'll be sharing our cruise on the NCL Joy on our trip to Bermuda.